Episode 2. Um, Obviously, we could do a little recap for YouTube viewers and such. In episode 1, a routine and traditional hunting trip with father and daughter ended in a bit of tragedy as they were ambushed in a clearing by a snow leopard and someone who the snow leopard who happened to be that person's pet. During the course of the events that spiraled crazily out of control, Reyk managed to end the threat. However, it cost Tiva, his daughter, her life. Investigating the scene prior to leaving for home, Rain discovered that the assailant, the attacker, was undead in nature, a horror. The nature of that, the exact nature of that being is uncertain. He learned, based on the craftsmanship of the bow and the arrows, he was able to discern that they came from a village called Mycer, a tribe called Mycer, which is far to the north, about 8 days travel from his last journey. It's a place that he has passed by before, never directly visited. He's very well aware of it and their craftsmanship. Mycer is roughly, it's what did we say? It's about 8 days travel. If we estimate about 20 miles per day, it's about 8 days travel. So he has spent his week, after he returned home with Tiva's body in tow, he has spent his week preparing. She buried Tiva, set up her masks around the gravesite, which he had 3 of, and most of the week he spent mired in grief and sorrow, trying to put the pieces together while he himself had to heal. He was injured quite badly as well. He took a couple arrows and a slash from the snow leopard. So while he healed up his wounds, just trying to find the willpower to press on. He knows that he owes it to his daughter to right the wrong that happened by her. He feels a weight of responsibility. He tries to play over and over again how he missed the signs of the snow leopard in the tree, of the attacker off in the distance, how he could have walked in to an ambush. He doesn't have those answers, but he does blame himself to a point. Part of it was his own comfort level with the area, being aware of the area, and not having encountered something like that in the past. He was completely taken by surprise. He did vow to Tiva with the vow of revelation to avenge her death. Um, but the the ensuing week of healing and grieving, it did add one to the threat meter. So we did attach a threat meter to this formidable vow. Um, and upon that week's end, we enter the month of Lamachan, otherwise known as October. And it was the first day of Lamachan. And Reyk finds himself packing his gear to prepare to go on a journey to Mycer, to find more information and to find what the purpose of this undead creature and its pet to be this far south, and potentially to end the threat that may be posed by those signs, those clues. He is going to stop at the village of Thorthir, which is his home village. He wants to let the townsfolk know what happened. Warn them of the possible threat, warn them the nature of the threat, at least at this small encounter. Again, there's no way to know if this is some bigger scale thing or some isolated incident or some other act. But he owes it to the village, he owes it to himself, and most importantly, he owes it to Tiva to travel north and find out. So after packing his belongings, his gear, his supplies, he's well rested. He's still sore. His wounds have started to scab over. Not quite fully healed yet. One can only heal so much in a week. But he can pick up some ointments at the village. The tribal elders and the shaman should have some ointments and salves he can bring with him. He does take, upon his departure, he does stop at Tiva's grave and reassert his vow to avenge her. And he takes off the, he constructed like 3 posts with the masks on them. He takes her hunter's mask with him and hangs it from his belt on his side to bring her with him. And he embarks for his little jaunt to the town. The tribe only, the tribe's only about an hour away, and he arrives and starts to inform some of his more known his friends and his tribesmates. Lets them know what happened and occurred. And he does request a meeting with the elder to inform him of this, and he's got a bond with the town, so he's well known, and he provides the town often quite, the whole purpose. One of the purposes of the the hunting mission last week was to gather more food for the tribe. So it's something that he's done for years. And they were worried. They didn't, when he didn't arrive on his normal weekly schedule, they were concerned. And his arrival without Tiva, when he first arrived there without Tiva, they were a little, they questioned initially, and then obviously he had to relay the graven news. So what we want to do first, though, is we want to find out the elder's name. So that's not what I want. Let's come up with a elder's name. Well, let's first off, we already know his role. Let's come up with a descriptor and a disposition. Then we'll have to come up with a name for him. Or her. Let's find out, first of all, if it's male or female. Is it, so, no is female and yes is male. So, no, it's a female. And let's get a descriptor and a disposition. Disfigured and disgusted. I mean, she got dissed. Double dissed. She has a scar on the side of her face from old and wizened and obviously of the land. A former hunter herself, likely. Fought a few beasts. Disgusted. Her disposition is disgusted. She's a bitter woman. The world hasn't been. I don't want to say. The world's been too fair. She's a realist. She understands. I mean, the only way that she could really be a tribal elder is to be in touch with the reality of the things going on around her, but the world's been a little too fair to her personally. I should be writing this stuff down because it makes sense to do such a thing, and we want to be consistent. So she would be listed under, let's bonds. We got Thorthir. So we'll list her in Thorthir for the time being, until if she becomes something else, then we'll bring her out as a relationship or a companion or something along those lines. Let's come up with a name. Fantasy name generator. Let's see. I need to get you the link, and if you want to come up with a name, fantasy name generator. The way I've been doing this, I'll give you the link. There's fantasy names. Here, let me get the link over to you first. And then if you want to roll up the link, I've been going with wait, I wrote this down. Hold on. It's ent names for last names. under fantasy names, ent names, and then oh gosh, what is it? Let me look at my notes. I think I got it. A New Frontier. Where are we doing this at? Is it Ironsworn? Shoot, I don't think I put it down. Or at least I don't remember where I put it. Go ahead, use... Goodness me. Sorry. Did you find the ent names? Alderspine. Okay, and then for the first name, go ahead and use... Siren names. Siren or Sylph names, whichever you want. Actually, you can... I think I... You know what? I think I used Nymph. You could use Nymph, Siren, something that... Female elf, wood elf kind of thing. So there's like Pixie, Nymph, Siren, or Sylph. All would be appropriate. Or whatever you figure out. Alderspine. He would probably be on a... He would definitely Alderspine is a... realist in which the world has been far too fair to. Retired hunter, she now is an elder of the Thorthir tribe. Laenella. Thank you, Laenella. Great. Laenella Alderspine. Fantastic. Her face and body wear heavy scars from a lifetime of experienced hunt. And Reyk would... I'm gonna do this a lot. I used to have a character named Rain, R-E-I-J-N, and I'm gonna say that on occasion when I say Reyk, because it starts to flow right into it. And Reyk was a completely random name, so you'll have to, if I ever do that, excuse me. Reyk will know. He'll be able to converse with Laenella. I don't think Laenella's the kind of person that is given to formalities. She's grizzled. She's an elf of the world. She's not shy. She's not predisposed to secrecy or anything like that. She pretty much wears her heart on her sleeve. Hi, Mick. My cat's crawling on me. So he's going to relay the information to Lainella, and during the meeting, he's looking to see if she has any recent information on the Maesir tribe, and what she might know beyond his knowledge. Obviously, he knows their craftsmanship, he knows their skill, he knows that they're more primitive in their nature. They haven't quite acclimated themselves to how the elven communities and that's about all he knows. But he's looking for other news that she might be privy to. So I think based on the situation that Reyk visits the town every month, every week. However, it's been 2 weeks since his last visit. So I would say if there's anything happening, she's going to have a somewhat likely chance. What's the 25% chance? Unlikely. It's unlikely that she knows of anything new. Information doesn't travel so swiftly, right? So it's a matter of her getting communications from other villages and from other elders, and if anything has come from the north within the past couple of weeks, or maybe even given a week prior, if she had heard anything. So let's say she's got an unlikely chance to know any news about anything remotely similar to what has happened. She does not know anything specific to no other reports she has received. I believe that's a no, right? Correct. So she doesn't have any other information regarding. She hasn't heard any reports of horrors, of snow leopards or anything like that. Now, would she know anything specific? She would be more likely to have specifics on the Maesir tribe if there's any recent rumblings from them. If there's any unrest, or maybe they've succumbed to something as well. So I think that's a little bit more likely. That would probably be a 50-50 chance that she has information regarding just the news in general. Does that sound fair? Okay. She does not have any information. She doesn't know anything new about the Maesir tribe either. So, really, there's not much. She expresses her condolences, and she feels a loss. I don't think it's important whether Tiva had a bond with this. I'm sure, she was raised. I'm sure there was a bond between Tiva and this tribe as well. But either way, Tiva was known well and very helpful and friendly to the village. So there's really not much else that we can glean from here. It's really a matter of getting on the journey. Lainella was not aware of any incidents regarding horrors or things otherwise out of place, nor is she aware of any changes in the Mycer any changes in the Mycer stances, disposition. Okay. Commit that. Unfortunately, it was an important stop anyway because he had to share the information. He does have received a lot of condolences. Some of the shaman he does get some ointments and salves, maybe some herbal teas that he can bring with him just to help soothe him, and should he encounter anything else. I think it's now, unfortunately, that if we could have got some information, that could have been a milestone for the vow, but there was no information. So in this case, no information is not information. The only thing that we've gleaned from this is that these are newer events, that possibly Reyk is the first one to either encounter it or the first one to encounter something and survive. It's not all that uncommon for hunters to go and not come back. It happens on occasion. That's just the nature of the business. It's not rampant, but it's happened. Whether they succumb to anything else or just get aimlessly lost for some reason, who knows? A hunter, and especially in a savage world, yes, it's definitely a dangerous job. I think now we're ready. That probably, you know what? We could have done that with a gather information roll, but I think it was fine with just the oracle. I think the oracle is probably more appropriate because we're finding out. We're just finding out if she had information. Then possibly we could have gathered beyond that. Undertake a journey. So we need to set up a journey now. And we're going to create an item. We set it up as a progress. The journey to Mycer. We're going to set this up as a dangerous journey. We do have one potential milestone, and we'll switch over. We'll look here. We know that Reyk's brother lives in Viscos. So along Viscos is right in the path. So one of the milestones that we can set is Viscos's Reyk's brother. So that's roughly the halfway point. So dangerous would be 5 ticks. You know what? It's probably going to be formidable. This is an 8-day journey. Yeah, you know what? I'd say anything greater than a week is formidable. You know what? No, we'll just do a dangerous journey on this one. We'll do a little meta. Everything we've done so well, the fights were dangerous, but we'll stick with dangerous right now. And about halfway, at some point, we'll hit a milestone. Either after 2 or 3, we'll stop at Reyk's brothers. And we're going to undertake the journey. Set the rank of your journey. So 2 progress per waypoint. When we start the journey, we roll, and we get +1 since we're starting from Thorthir. I see his place as a waypoint right now. Yeah, we could do that. That actually makes it. That's about the same. 2 dangerous journeys is the same as 1. Or 2 dangerous journeys is the same as 1 formidable journey. Except you get 2. You know what? Yeah, let's do that. Our first journey is going to be to stop at yeah, that's a good idea, actually. Our first journey is going to be to Reyk's brother. What was his name? I gave him a name, but we rolled a name for him, but I deleted it because I removed his bond. We decided that he wasn't a bond. And actually, this could be potential to rekindle that bond. Let me see if I took down his name. Does not appear to be so. Okay, let's roll a new name for him. We know his last name, right? His last name's going to be Siedendar. Good idea. First name for men, I don't know, you can check it, you can make that determination. You have all the tables at your disposal now. But go ahead and get me a name. Eventually we'll get some elven names that fit our theme a little better into the system, but not just yet. Was it Jotun? Siak? Siak it is. Let's call this journey Old Wounds and New. We'll just call the Old Wounds and New. And then we will... Oh, come on. You know what? I'm going to delete this. Everything we put in here is a... I have to remember this. Is a vow. Because it allows us to put... It allows us to put in text below here. So everything... And then I just color code it. Journey. Reyk travels to Mysair, but first he needs to pay a visit to his brother Reyk in Viscos. You know what? For this one, the journey to Reyk will be troublesome. It's a path he's traveled before, and then the one to Mesar will be dangerous. I think that's fair too. He knows the path through the mountains. Actually, he would probably typically go around the mountains. So basically, he would travel. I think you can click. Yeah. So it's about a 5-day. About a 5-day travel. But it's familiar territory, and we'll actually mark he'll live closer to the river there, and we can mark this as Reyk's home. And, oh. I have to leave the... Why aren't you saving? There was no save, there's no update thing on that. Alright. Our journey to Reyk's home. And we will start off with our initial roll. Character sheet, character sheet. Oh, where's his icon at? That's the second time his icon's disappeared. Okay. So we are doing a roll versus wits, and we get a +1. Hey, a strong hit. You reach a waypoint. If the waypoint is unknown to you, envision it or ask the oracle. It's a path we know. You make good work of your resources. Mark progress. And you move at speed. Mark progress and take +1 momentum, but suffer -1 supply. I think I'm going to forgo that. Let's have some fun. We'll say the first leg of the journey is right. He travels here. There's a waterfall that's marks a waypoint to the journey. It's about 1/3 of the journey when he usually gets there. So let's. You want to come up with a name for a waterfall? I think we'll make these smaller. We'll make these 14. And we should change the color. Waypoints will change the color on. So if we ever have to come back and visit, oh, there wasn't there before. And then we'll do the same. Actually, let's I like this. I like this a lot. So actually, Sayak will. Oaken Falls. Ojelthar. I like Ojelthar. And we'll put that in our translator too. Oaken Falls. Up. Ojelthar. We can link these two. No. Oh, shh. And then we've got our journal translations. Ojelthar. Oaken Falls. Excellent, excellent. Cool. So, finally some travel in peace that is calm and a relaxing respite from the nightmarish events of 2 weeks past. He's able to think along the journey and talk and have conversations with his daughter, at least with her memory. There's his. How do I delete that one now? And he allows himself, when he arrives at the falls, he allows himself a little time to recuperate. But otherwise, it's just a peaceful, tranquil experience. He needed this. He needed some peace. And it's good for him to remember that the wilderness can always offer some favor in return and some beauty in return. It's not always ominous and dark, but he should never let his guard down nonetheless. So, on to our second roll. We will still be going with wits. We do not have a bonus this time around, though. Oh my gosh, did we go double strong hit? I think we did. Yes, we did. Double strong hit. We actually rolled pretty high, but on the challenge, but so we know that we can mark this karma finally, right? We reach another waypoint. I'm going to mark down a supply and take the momentum on this one, because on our next thing will be arriving at Seok's home, and we'll be able to resupply there. We'll be able to gather supplies there. Actually, you can gather supplies. Resupply when you hunt, forage, or scavenge. We could do that on any thing, but we could definitely. I think we'll be able to just resupply for nothing at Seok's home, as long as everything's okay there. So we reached the gap. We reached the breach. What was this? 5-day? So at the end of day 3, we reach the where the mountains give way to a small gap. Well, not really that small, but it's a gap between that and the shoreline. He's hugging the mountains pretty much, so he has really doesn't really. You can see the horizon goes empty of trees and of anything really, so he knows that the shoreline is far off, roughly 20 miles in the northwest direction. But again, it's just peaceful travels, and still, struggling through everything, but at least he's starting to be settled. So let's move on. We got our third leg of the journey, and I'm going to get to a point where we're just going to leave this open if we're doing a lot of rolls. Wits it is, one more time. We got a weak hit on this one, so let's see what, all things considered, considering I rolled a 1, could have been much worse. So we're still under, wait, do you do this under Undertake a Journey? Wait, is there a separate? Oh yeah, for each segment of the journey. Yep. Roll plus wits. Weak hit. Hey, Cyanide, did I get what working? No, we're playing today. We're on a different. Today, Tuesdays and Thursdays, we actually play Ironsworn. But, yes, I got it all working. Thank you. Started working on the character sheet. Yes, yes. Alright, so we're going to take off a supply. And we're going to mark progress. And we're going to roll for reach your destination. So basically we went one more day, traveled up along the mountainside, the hills and the mountainside, and it's time to fulfill the journey and let's make another move. No, that's right. This is right. We wanted to be sure. All right. The situation at your destination favors you. Choose one. Make another move now and add +1 or take +1 momentum. And make another move and add +1. I think we're going to take the situation at your destination favors you. So we're going to arrive at our journey. Let's clean this up. Yeah, you know what? You're right. I forgot about that. When you undertake a journey, take +1 momentum on a strong hit. If you burn momentum... So we got... How many strong hits did we get there? Two. So we got +2 momentum. Yes, thank you. One of them was a weak hit, 2 of them were a strong hit, and reach your destination is not undertake a journey. So 2 strong hits, 1 weak hit. 1, 2, yep. So +2 momentum. Thank you. The situation at your destination favors you. So when we arrive at Sayok's small cabin, very rustic, settled into the side of the hills, in the midst of some small forest that's over there, small trees. It's a little bit. This system does not require a GM. Correct. This is full. You can play this game solo. You can play it co-op, and you can play it with a GM. Cyanide, dude, you should check it out. It's amazing. Ironsworn is an incredible system, and they just came out with Starforged, which is the sci-fi version of Ironsworn. Ironsworn Starforged. Ironsworn is a free download. Go to ironswornrpg.com. You can download the PDF for free. It's an incredible game, and yeah, I would check it out, man. I'm amazed at how good it is. I'm just learning the rules. This is only my second session, so you'll have to bear with me as I learn the rules as we're getting along. But before long, we'll be going crazy. First episode was nuts. It's very interesting. It's intense. Tuesday was intense as heck. Today's been a little more calm, fortunately. But we're in our wheelhouse. Our character is a He's a wayfinder and he's a hunter, so we're kind of in our wheelhouse right now. We're traveling. Um, so let's do first things first. I think we get to mark some progress on avenging Tiva's death. It's one milestone. Old Wounds and New becomes a discovery that is completed. Reyk arrives at Sayok's home after enjoying's a strong word, but there's really a peaceful